Together here. I just got called in at the last minute, so there's a mix-up on the schedule or something. No big deal. Don't worry about the life jackets. There's only 2 left that work in the cabin, and I know where those are. Restrooms. If you need a restroom on the lower deck, stern the boat, stern's the back of the boat. Bedrooms on the starboard side of the river. But as you can see, they're taking up about 2/3 of the Intracoastal Waterway right here. It's going to be 3 million square feet of display space. This is going to be the transportation center right off to your house. You know what a spec house is? Well, I expected to sell it 5 years ago when I first built it, and I expected to get $20 million, and I expect the owner, who's the CEO of Bethlehem Steel, is not too happy that nobody's living in it yet. Under the house, look under the stairway. Back where that truck is, it's probably the caretaker. They have room for their 10-car garage under the house. Plus they have room for 2 limos. That's a problem I have at my house. No room for the limos. You have that problem too? Oh yeah. Yeah, nobody comes to visit, right? But again, $22,000 is a little $9 million yacht. Mike Maroney is also Vice President of Auto Nation. He works for Wayne Huizenga. The next house on the right with the carriage lamps around the seawall is built for Presley Anheuser-Busch Budweiser beer. Yeah, like me, some of you may own some of those tiles on the roof. It's also been the site of several movies. One of my favorite was Where the Boys Are with Connie Francis. She was on the boat a few years ago. I had a nice little chat with her. Nothing to do with the depth of the water. The captain can compare them to a nautical chart, which is down where that water taxi is just coming from, and head south on the Intracoastal Waterway, the ICW. In about 3 hours, it would arrive at Bayside Marketplace in Miami. We kept going south another 10 hours after that, would arrive in that party town, Key West. We kept going south another 10 hours after that, would arrive in and a hurricane. Although it's now tropical storm power, it's going to blow itself out the next day or so. Yeah, would arrive in Cuba. Of course, 10 minutes later, would arrive in jail, so we're not going to go that way. Over on the right, there's a tree on the corner, had just a few green leaves on it. When that's in full bloom, it grows a red flower. When it's in full bloom around July 4th, it's covered in so many red flowers you can hardly see any green leaves. That's a Royal Poinciana tree. In the Bahamas, they call it the flaming tree. In Puerto Rico, they call it flamboyant. In New York, they call it, what the... Oh, you've seen it. How about this yellow house on the right with a white and dark green trim, the tall seawall? That's a $5 million house built for the $6 million man, Mr. Lee Majors. Remember him?
That guy.
The bionic man, the fall guy? Just sold that about 5 or 6 years ago, but he had a roof. Used to belong to Wayne Huizenga up until just a few months ago when he sold it. This was one of a couple of vacation cottages that he owned. It takes up that whole peninsula.
Yeah, I like that.
Now Wayne Huizenga, some of you are looking at me kind of funny. Back in the 1960s, Wayne borrowed $5,000 from the bank. There's another big house on the corner on the right. This was originally built for the people that own Taco Bell. A lot of money in chalupas, Chihuahua. They sold it. The current owner is the CEO of Templeton Securities. So if you have your retirement funds in Templeton, he says thank you. In fact, all these people say thank you for one important reason. You help pay for all this by buying all their goods and services. Alright, and I told you Wayne Huizenga bought that other piece of property back there from Michael Egan because Michael wanted to downsize. This pink house coming up on the right is what he considers downsizing. I want to downsize like that when I retire. Everything from the house to the water is all brand new. The seawall, the vegetation, the pools, everything. Do a lot of things by boat in Fort Lauderdale. On the right, go to church by boat. Some people do. They go right down the canal, tie their boat up, go to church. And the next house on the right, the white one with the orange barrel tile roof, was built for Charles Tandy. He owns Radio Shack. He sold it to Chuck West Pet Supermarket. A lot of money in dog food. Now, Chuck had a major problem with this house. He bought a new yacht named Party Girl, and it was too big for the dock, so he had to sell the house. Oh, millionaires have problems too. Over on the right, behind the green and white striped awning, this is the oldest hotel in Fort Lauderdale, the Riverside Hotel, built in a trading post for the Indians. Ivy Stranahan was also the town's first school teacher. On the right, it is the Riverfront Marketplace. And I think it just opened yesterday. They have a brand new restaurant down here, Suite 100. American food with a slight internet. Broadway and off-Broadway, shows, plays, concerts, operas, about 700 performances a year. So we continue around the bend, left and right of us, more condos. If you have them professionally built by the Seminoles and Indians, that's a Chi-Key hut. Ladies, if your husband puts one together for you, you probably call it a Chi-Pee hut. And you like this next one, ladies. Barbara Pole, a sign says, son of a barber from Pittman, New Jersey. Nice tribute to somebody's dad. I understand he hit the lotto up. They just call them exotic herbs in South Florida. Ironically, today it's all owned by a retired federal judge. Picked it up on the auction block. Personally, I kind of wonder if he didn't have friends in high places. On the left, 34th boat down on the right used to be Howard Hughes' personal aircraft turned into a boat. It's a Boeing 307 Stratoliner. You never heard of that plane because they only made 10 of them before World War II broke out.